All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. First, welcome. It looks like there's only a couple folks online. The rest are from DMU. So welcome. And my name is Tom Brooks. I am the Vice President for Enrollment Management. Normally, this would be done by Maria Lees Dunlap, our admissions advisor for the Masters of Science in Psychology. She is online with us, but she's experiencing heavy tech difficulties due to the weather where she's at. So I'm going to go ahead and present the webinar for you guys. And a couple requests. If you have questions, put them into the chat, and we will certainly answer those questions. And at the end, Maria may have some thoughts that she wants to share as well. And we'll go from there. So again, welcome everybody. And first, table of contents, we'll tell you a little bit about Divine Mercy University, more about our program. We'll also go through some of our faculty, our acceptance requirements, next steps if this is something you want to do, and we'll talk a little bit about scholarships and tuition reduction. First, Divine Mercy University is a Catholic graduate university comprised of two schools, the Institute for the Psychological Sciences and the School of Counseling. It is dedicated to the scientific study of psychology and counseling with a Catholic Christian understanding of the person, marriage, and family. We were founded in 1999 as the Institute for Psychological Sciences, or IPS. In 2014, the Institute launched its online MS in Psychological program with a focus on educating working professionals. In 2015, the school was expanded to the university status and renamed Divine Mercy University when we added the School of Counseling. There's accreditation across most universities, and Divine Mercy University is no different. There's a couple types of accreditation. The first being state level, meaning we get to operate as a business, if you will, in the state, even though we're a university. And we're governed by SHEV, which is the Schools and Colleges of Higher Education in Virginia. And again, that allows us to operate as a university in the state of Virginia. And we are regionally accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, the Commission on Colleges, or SAC-COC. That allows the school to operate as a university, as well as provide Title IV funding or federal loans to students that are going to school. We're also governed by an agreement called NC-SARA. NC-SARA allows schools in different states to offer their programs over the internet into other states. Even though we don't actually have a school in, let's say, California, Hawaii, Alaska, or any of those, we're able to educate folks from those states and confer degrees to them in those states, even though we're located in Virginia. So how is the online Master's in Psychology different from other degrees? As a pure 100% online program, you know, obviously that's the easy answer. We're online. There's a lot of online schools, but I think as you go through this deck with us, you'll find out we do things a little bit differently, and we do almost everything with our students first, if you will. We go through a distributed learning model, asynchronously delivered courses, maximize flexibility and minimize inconvenience, changing your head, heart, and life for the better. What that really means is that while you're learning these things, you're doing it on your time. You can, you know, some people are early risers, some folks are up late, you know, so if you're sitting there at midnight doing homework, you know, going in a chat room, doing different things, you know, that's your prerogative. There are times where the program does meet together, and that's decided on by the program and the cohort. But most of the time, you're doing this on your own in terms of the studying. And then you do group events, you do chats, you do other things with your professors and advisors so that you're constantly linked to your cohort and your program. Your programs are taught by experienced professionals. Our core faculty are experienced working professionals who understand what you need to learn so as to live out your vocation as a transformational leader in your field. The beauty of this program is that we have people doing things from ministries within the church, out there running their own businesses, working for organizations pretty much all around the world. Our MSP program is on average filled with about 20 to 25% international students. So in addition to the faculty, you kind of get a nice flavor from around the world as you're working through projects and giving and getting input. So we feel that that's a pretty nice thing for our students to be able to experience. What you learn is directly related to what you will use in your chosen field. It goes a little bit beyond that. This is not a degree where you have to wait until you earn your degree to go out there and actually start using it as what we call a helping degree. Almost from the very beginning, you will learn strategies, experience, an education that allows you to apply it on a day-to-day basis in your personal life, in your professional life, long before you graduate. We hear that from many of our students and alumni, that they felt that from the first term on, they were utilizing some of the skill sets they were learning along the way, and it helped them enhance whether it was their personal life or their professional life. And then we're informed and infused by DMU's unique Catholic Christian model of the human person. It's also called the integrated model, and it's really, the underpinnings of 2,000 years of the Catholic faith and what has been learned over that and how it affects human behavior. So the online Master's in Psychology program is, we have several tracks. One, marriage and family counseling. One is in human services. One is in leadership. One is pre-PhD. And then there's finally self-design. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it is 100% online. One thing to note is it's not a licensure track degree, meaning that if you're looking to be a clinician, actually provide mental health services or psychological services, you would need a degree for that leads to licensure, and that's not what this does. MSP focuses on educating working professional from all backgrounds by giving them a solid, practical human tools needed in psychology. And then these different tracks is related to the core content of the program. So even though you don't have a license, you can go out there and we'll cover that in a little while and work in many different areas with this type of degree. I believe today, Maria, you can confirm, are we talking about leadership? I'm coming to this late, folks. I apologize.
Yes, we're focusing on a leadership concentration today.
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, we do have the 5 different concentrations, and you can explore the other ones if you'd like, but we'll focus today on the leadership in psychology. The leadership psychology concentration is designed for individuals who are responsible for leading people, programs, and organizations in a variety of settings. You can see here some of the core courses along with the electives. Obviously, from a psychology perception or concentration, you'll see several psychology courses, but we also have the leadership courses. Up top, you'll see some things like human growth and development across the lifespan, cognition, emotion, and motivation, social psychology, groups, and diversity. And as I said earlier, a lot of our students and our alumni have told us that these are skills that they learn and are able to apply out in the world in real time. On the bottom where it says elective, this is actually where you'll find the track program information. So you'll have a course on transformational leadership, one on leading people, programs, and organizations, and then applied leadership skills. So some of the benefits of the Master's in Psychology program: you're able to analyze the major concepts, theories, and methodologies in psychology and leadership, synthesize findings from research to develop relevant interventions and direct services in a variety of workplace settings. Appraise the impact of diversity factors on the administration of teams and the delivery of services to various populations. Evaluate critically one's own biases, assumptions, attitudes, etc., and their effect on decision-making, planning, interpersonal communication, and working in teams. And we hear a lot, as I mentioned, from our current students and alumni, but, as an example, we have priests that tell us all the time that, they learn some things that really, really help them in kind of separating the spiritual from the psychological side of the working with their parishioners. It's also helped them when they're running a parish, in some cases, schools, things like that, because it helps them understand themselves a little bit better and how they make decisions and how they handle certain situations. And of course, we hear that from many others out there outside of the church. You apply diversity principles in leadership activities informed by the Catholic Christian vision of the human person. Evaluate the attitudes, skill sets, and strategies for being a transformational leader in a service delivery setting. Understand the effects of crises, disasters, and other trauma-causing events. Develop care and/or education plans. We are, again, 100% online, and as it relates to our online classroom, the ability to work anytime, anywhere, as long as you have internet and a computer to work from. Flexible times to work on assignments, classroom, group interaction, and one-on-one time with professors. Same atmosphere as a full-time student participation and teachers. Fast turnaround with any of your professors and peers. The 5 sensory learning points: videos, books, classroom, tutorials, and audio books. This is really what we call the 5 learning modalities. Folks learn different ways, and all of our courses were built from the ground up with some of the best subject matter experts in those areas and some of the best learning experts in those areas. And really the 5 learning modalities is really geared towards how you learn best. Are you a note taker? Do you do better if you hear a lecture? Do you need a combination of things in order for you to retain the information that you're learning? So we feel that not only is the content and the way it's structured is quite simply phenomenal, but the way it's delivered is really equally phenomenal, because it gives our students a greater chance of success in learning the material they need to learn when they go out in the world and kind of start working in their vocation. It's an easy to use online platform called Canvas. It's kind of where our students go into and they do all their work, and everything's kind of done through that from an academic setting. And you have 24/7 open access, meaning you can study anytime, anywhere. Some of the advanced skills provided by the MSP program: the ability to recognize and respond to mental health challenges, how to effectively communicate and negotiate, the importance of interpersonal relationship building, ways to lead a team through crisis, how to manage a budget, strategies for program evaluation, and fostering increased cultural awareness. We're not going to go through all of these because we really were kind of focusing on the leadership side of the program. But as you can see, there is a variety of areas you can work in. If you're already, working as a priest, obviously you're kind of, informed, if you will, that way. But, priests do all kinds of different things, all kinds of different jobs besides working at a parish or even a diocese. There's a ton of different ministries out there. many of which require strong leadership and managerial experience. And it's one of the areas that we hear the most from priests. It's really helped them in terms of running a parish and or a school, or a ministry for that matter. And we hear the same thing from lay people in ministries and, other religious and consecrated. We also have folks that are working in all kinds of different areas. If you look down there where it says industrial, or in the middle where it says industrial and organizational positions, human resources manager, employee training manager, market research analyst, and it goes on down to the bottom where you'll see government and law enforcement. If you look to the right on the bottom, you see education. So we have folks working across different areas, and the leadership program really does help you as it's combined with the psychology portion of the MSP program. I won't go through all these career opportunities. We just mentioned some areas a minute ago. We go over to jobs in business, sales, marketing, and advertising. A master's degree in psychology also serves as an excellent preparation for careers outside of psychology. Psychology graduates are often sought after by employers because they have strong interpersonal communication skills. Solid background in research and statistics might also qualify you to work in areas such as market research. Again, human resources manager, advertising agent, market researcher, employer training, public relation representative, sales representative. If you're running any kind of business at all, it really is pretty phenomenal to have this training. In addition to the interpersonal skills, it just, understanding yourself and how you manage, tough situations, how you handle stress, how you handle negotiating, as I said earlier. I've been told before by many people going through this program, one of the toughest things they hate doing is when they have to do an annual review and it's a critical one, or they have an employee that's struggling and they have to deliver kind of a hard discussion with them. And they say going through this training has actually helped them dramatically in those areas. Some other areas you'll see diocesan office of marriage and family, youth minister. Some folks work in community colleges and universities, nonprofit agencies. We have a ton of folks working in those areas, graduates. We probably have, off the top of my head, 60 different organizations that we have graduates in that are doing wonderful things out there. Some areas that folks don't think about: local, state, and federal government. There's all kinds of different areas: psychology program manager, social service manager. So you can work with licensed professionals in those areas. We kind of already covered a little bit of the ministry side. Let's talk a little bit about your psychology professors. The MSP at Divine Mercy, provides a unique opportunity to gain psychological knowledge from a Catholic Christian perspective, which is infused in all courses throughout the program. In addition, our program grants the opportunity to learn together with students who come from all walks of life, from stay-at-home mom to business executive to priest or missionary, and from all across all continents of the world, which presents a deeply enriching learning experience. Finally, completing the MSP degree will offer many new and unique employment possibilities in numerous settings, such as community colleges, government agencies, and healthcare settings or nonprofit agencies. And that's from our program director, Dr. Julia Klausley. And as you can see across the top there, these are our full-time faculty. We do have a number of adjunct faculty as well in the MSP program. And if you visit the website, you can see the bios on each one of our professors. So a non-licensed helping professional, which is really what this degree is, the MSP degree is not a licensable, eligible degree in most jurisdictions. However, MSP graduates are capable of helping people in many ways and roles as outlined below. You learn to listen empathetically as support, but do not diagnose mental illness. Listening to and assisting struggling persons, not as a counseling or psychotherapy. Non-licensed helper must refer if the person shows any signs of being a danger to self or others. Facilitate psychoeducational programs, i.e., marriage seminars, parenting seminars. And as it relates to the leadership program, we have a lot of folks that are actually in the regular world, if you will. Maybe I think one that comes off the top of my head, I think it's Lowe's or Home Depot, as an example. We have an MSP grad that's running their training program for new managers. We have folks that go out into training, leadership training, sensitivity training, a number of other things. So we have folks out across many different companies that have gotten their MSP and are now out there kind of working as a trainer. And in some cases, they're the first person in the HR side that contacts employees who have grievances and things like that. Work alongside licensed mental health professionals. Wellness and life coaching, which is another one, may need additional certification depending on what state you're in. But we have people that hang their shingle as a wellness or life coach. Refer to a licensed mental health professional. Know who these persons are in your area. Sometimes our folks talk to somebody and they see this person struggling to the point where they know that they need more help, and they'll refer them out to a psychologist or a counselor, or even to kind of a trauma-related situation area. So, we get a lot of different folks in life who are struggling in many different ways. And a lot of our MSP graduates have referred folks because they knew that they needed more help. So it's a nice thing to be able to see and understand how to react to those kind of folks and get them the help they need. Things the MSP will help graduates with: build trust so a person will follow through on suggestions and or more support if it's needed. Gather data about history and what is going on for the person. Offer new perspectives on challenging situations or dilemmas. Seek input from other professionals when cases seem complex or go outside what you see day to day. More effective involvement in lay ministries, including stronger ability to assist clergy and religious with caring for troubled persons. Deepened understanding of the interrelatedness of body, mind, and spirit, and increased opportunity for job promotion depending on your setting. Whether it's education, human resources, even military and other areas, master's degrees do help folks as they're looking at going upline in their vocation. So if this is something you're thinking about doing and you feel that Divine Mercy University offers you both from a content and academic perspective, but also from a life fulfillment perspective, you want to move forward and earn your degree with us, the MSP acceptance requirements are as follows. You have to have a baccalaureate degree from an institution accredited by an agency recognized by the U.S. Department of Education or an internationally recognized institution. Applicants must have at least a 2.5 GPA to be admitted. To be competitive, students should have at least a 2.75 GPA. Less competitive students may wish to submit a GRE score as well. A GRE score is not required, but if you have it, if you've taken it recently and done well, it's definitely something you want to submit. 2 letters of recommendation, resume including employment or other significant volunteer history, written statement of intent and indicating how your goals align with the goals of the program. If you're an international student, you'll also need to take the TOEFL or IELTS scores. And if you have a degree from another country, you will have to have that ran through a company that evaluates degrees to make sure that you qualify with the equivalent of an undergraduate degree in the United States. So how do you pay for all this? Is grad school affordable? Divine Mercy University has done quite a bit of tuition reduction over the years to help our students. In addition to that, you have federal aid, meaning, as we said earlier, our students can qualify for federal student loans. There's a William D. Ford federal student loan program, and it includes the unsubsidized Stafford loans and Graduate Plus loans. Many of you work in places where there's the potential for employer tuition reimbursement. Some of you work in places where you're fully funded by your employer. We are approved for veterans funding. We do have scholarships and grants, and we also know folks out there have some maybe alternative funding available. They may have their own private funds or family funds, agencies and organizations that may match funds, possible grant programs. And obviously you can pay cash, set up loan program or a payment program over the course of your term with or your degree with Divine Mercy. And then, some folks have family assistance, as I mentioned earlier. Again, on our website, you'll find under divinemercy.edu, you'll find financial aid and scholarships. That will inform you on what scholarships you may want to try to compete for. And as also mentioned, we have tuition discounting through what we call our Memorandum of Understanding program. Some of you may be eligible for that already because you're part of an organization we have an MOU with. And then we recently rolled out a program where in the Catholic Church and nonprofits and those affiliated can earn up to 20%, 20% being for priests, religious, consecrated, or diocese or parish employees, 15% for lay and non-church governed nonprofits. So there's like Catholic pregnancy centers. There's a number of other places that aren't actually governed by a diocese, but they're affiliated. So we rolled this out recently. Financial aid will be able to talk to you about it. So check with them. And again, all the MOUs that we have in place are still in place, but now we've rolled out this new program for the folks that aren't currently under an MOU. There are a couple of ways to go through this program. You can go through kind of the traditional 26-month, but we also introduced a fast track, which you can do in 16 months. So if your goal is to get in school, learn as much as possible, get out as quick as possible, be able to go to work using the information you learned, then you may want to look at the 16-month track. One of the benefits is that the cost drops. Okay, that went away, but so if you take the 16-month track, basically you're taking 2 courses at a time, and your first course is the regular credit fee. Your second course is 50% off of that credit fee. As you can see here, tuition is $826 per credit. There's 33 credits total for the program, and that adds up to $27,258. There's tech fees, which is $50 per class. Over 11 courses, that's $550. So the subtotal is $27,808. There is a $55 application fee, but we do have currently a waiver in place for that, and you can check with Maria on how to make that happen. You'll see another number. It's called indirect expenses. Some students choose to borrow more than the cost of the program. And they do this because maybe they're going full-time and they've had to drop their employment or gone part-time or something like that. So they borrow a little extra in order to be able to live. So for those of you that plan on borrowing just what you need to get through school, this is your cost right here. So is the master's in psychology the right path for you? Will the completion of this program help you to attain your goals? Is the program scheduling and requirements for successful completion workable with your schedule? Do the financial options discussed along with support from our financial aid department make the program seem affordable? And can you commit to the successful completion of the program if accepted? A couple things to understand about Divine Mercy University. We're not a huge school by design. One of the things that's extremely important to us, it's not that we have students enroll and start school. It's that we have students enroll, start school, and finish school. Our goal is to graduate everybody if possible. Obviously, that means there's commitment on the students' part to learn, attend classes, do the things they need to do to graduate. And then the university, of course, helps those students along the way to ensure that they get to graduation if at all possible. So when we ask about commitment, it's a big deal for us, and it's something your admissions advisor Maria will talk with you about. It's important that we know you understand when you're going to study, how you're going to study, that you're able to study, financially you're supported, that if you were religious, you have approval from your superiors, those kind of things. We want to make sure there's a clear path for you to not only start school, but to graduate. So questions, let's go up here. I think I saw in chat. All right, so for more information, especially right after this, it's, if this is something you're really interested in, I would kind of immediately get a hold of Maria. Her contact information is right here. And as you guys can see, I mentioned earlier, the waiver fee for the application fee is listed right here. We will send this out to all of the folks that attended today. And, if you're curious about, my comment earlier about we provide quite a bit in tuition reduction. Last year, we awarded a little over $2 million in tuition reduction to our students. So we feel that we're pretty heavily vested in them, both from an academic and financial perspective. And we'd love to have folks on this webinar join us. And I would recommend that you get a hold of Maria pretty quickly. And you can also go to apply. At the bottom of the screen, you can see where it says enroll.divinemercy.edu. And you can go into the MSP in Psychology and apply now. So we do have a start coming soon, and we're working with quite a few folks. So I'd implore you to get going today or tomorrow if you're interested, and get with Maria to get any other questions you may have.
And just to piggyback on that, I know I've talked to a few of you, and a few of you are enrolled, and that's so exciting. So I'm glad you guys are here to kind of get another overview of what you're going to be starting in just about a month, which is awesome. But I'll also be reaching out to some of you. Some of you have emailed me, and we have your information. So we'll definitely be in touch to make sure that we're able to answer any additional questions that you have as you discern this program. And I'm here for anything you need. You can call or text me at any time, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Because we are here for you. We want you to be successful. And, we really believe in this program and the people that it's developing and how they're impacting the world. And so we really hope that this becomes a part of your journey too.
Thank you, Maria. All right. If there's no other questions, I'll go ahead and end the program. And again, follow up Maria as soon as possible. And we look forward to seeing you folks. Have a good day.